Hi, Jeremiah Johnston coming at you from Missouri. I'm here to talk with you for a quick second about security camera selection. There's a lot of manufacturers of security cameras. There's a lot of different resolutions and definitely a lot of different price ranges. How do you pick out the right cameras for your job? That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Whenever you're picking out a security camera, there's some information that you're definitely going to have to know ahead of time to make sure you select the right lens, the right resolution, the right camera, the right model, all those things, okay? So let's talk for a second about how resolution is rated. Let's say 5 years ago, the megapixel camera was the latest and greatest, okay? So a 720p or 1 megapixel resolution. That was the latest and greatest. A few years after that, we started looking at 1080p and 2 megapixel. Now you can get cameras all the way up to 30 megapixels, okay? Obviously a wide variety of price points. How do you know which camera to select for your job, right? If we're putting a camera up in an office or a break room or a conference room versus a parking lot, how do I know what resolution to pick? How do I know how many cameras to select? That's what we're going to talk about. So, if we look at resolution, this simply is a measurement of the horizontal dots across a camera lens or a camera sensor, right? So if this is what the camera is seeing, a 720p or a 1080p is literally 720 dots or 1080 dots all the way across the screen, okay? And it's a fixed amount. So whether you're looking at something far away or you're looking at something very up close, it's the same number of dots. If you're looking at something far away, because it's far away, those dots will be further apart because you've got a wider field of view. So we've taken these dots and we've spread them apart. So your resolution is lower when you're looking farther away. And when something is very close and you've got the camera focused in tight, then those dots are much closer together, and so you have a much higher resolution. A good analogy is to think about newspaper print in a photo. You can literally look and see very closely those dots. You can see the dots because they're pretty far apart, and a newspaper resolution is much lower than, say, a portrait photographer that's printed out a photo for you, right? It's those dots and how far apart they are. So this is what you need to know. If we're looking at putting a security camera, I'm going to draw, say this is a school gymnasium, okay? We're going to do an overhead view. We're looking down. We've got our basketball courts right here. Okay, we've got our bleachers. We've got our center line. Okay, so this is our gymnasium. We want to see what's going on in here. Say we put a security camera. Someone recommends a 2 megapixel security camera. And they say it's going to have a 90-degree field of view. So you'll be able to see this entire gymnasium because it's got a wide enough view. But what's that resolution? It's 2 megapixels, it's 1080 lines. Up close you may see really sharp, but by the time you get all the way over here, those pixels are spread far enough apart that you may not be able to see real clearly. So here's what you need to know. We need to know how high is that camera going to be mounted off the ground. We need to know how wide of a field of view at the very farthest point you want to see. So if we're doing a 90 degree, the widest or the farthest away at the widest point is going to be this line right here that we're drawing across here. So we need to know what this dimension is, and we need to know how far away that dimension is. We need to know how high the camera is. We plug all that into a calculator, and we can figure out how many pixels per foot you're going to have with each resolution of a camera. I have a chart that I use. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. This chart gives a simulated view of 100 pixels per foot all the way down to 20 pixels per foot. If you're only at 20 pixels or less per foot, you're not going to really be able to identify someone. You certainly couldn't go and prosecute someone in front of a judge and say, this person is the person in the video, right? Because the resolution just isn't high enough. So you need to decide how what the density of pixels per foot is that you need. And then we go and we look at each individual camera and each individual spot. And we decide how many cameras, how wide a view, how high to mount these cameras. Lots of information there. I hope that it was helpful, at least a little bit, and some things to consider. Again, my name is Jeremiah Johnston. My contact information is is below this video. I would love to help you design a system if that's what you're looking for. Reach out to me, email, phone call. Would love to hear from you. Thanks a lot and have a great day.